So you moved from Center Street, downtown Goldsboro.
Right, and I think the second location was on Walnut Street, downtown Goldsboro, third location, South George Street, and now fourth location within the county is out in the industrial park.
As your business continues to grow.
Absolutely.
And what's really interesting, Mac, you said right before we went on the air, how did Sullivan come into the picture?
My mother was a Pate. That's right. And so that's how Sullivan is fourth generation. I came in through.
We just want to make that clear.
Yes, absolutely.
Family-owned business today,
right.
After 125 years, still family-owned.
That's correct.
With 218 employees.
And actively engaged in moving the business from fourth generation me to fifth generation. So my oldest son began working for us a year ago. He one of the requirements we have for family members is they have to work elsewhere first. And so a minimum of 3 years, they have to get a raise, have to get a promotion.
Wow.
And it can be anywhere. They don't have to work in the industry. He chose to work for a Foodservice Distributor in San Antonio, Texas, worked out there for 3.5 years, comes back to work for us with different ideas, different ways of seeing things, which is what continues to build the business, because you're continually injecting new ideas and new viewpoints into it so that you can continue to improve.
Be neat to see, interesting to see what kind of visions everyone has as far, another 125 years from now, where will it be?
Absolutely. And that is the way I look at it. It is setting the business up so that the next generation has a better platform from which to grow than this generation did. Mm-hmm. And if we can do that successfully and prepare it to move it to the next generation, why can't we continue for another 3 or 4? Mm-hmm. I mean, each generation will have decisions to make. Absolutely. Each generation will have to change, but if you can move it from one to another and do it successfully, why not?
That's right. Moving on to the fifth generation of Pate Dawson company. Now, just serving, you are pretty much a staple in Goldsboro. I would consider it.
One of the first things I heard when I moved down here was that's one of the first places I remember hearing about. I'm from Delaware originally, so I've been down here for a little over a year. So that's one of the names that has stood out.
Absolutely.
So I was interested in hearing you talk this morning.
Absolutely. Well, this is our home. We enjoy the wonderful employees we have in this area. We enjoy being a good corporate citizen. But, again, our view of life is mostly how this business impacts other people's lives, our customers and our associates, because that's what it's all about. And if we're doing that and doing that well, we think we're going to be successful.
What are the different areas in Pate Dawson, since you have to handle so many clients and you have such a huge department? Name some of the different departments that are available.
Okay, sales obviously, purchasing, finance, information technologies, HR, warehousing, transportation. So those would be all the different departments.
Yeah, and that just tells you how one small business can grow into a bigger one when it comes to focusing on your employees as well as focusing on your customers. It just grows from there.
Absolutely. When you consider all the different moving parts that have to occur and occur correctly for one case to be delivered to a customer properly, it is absolutely amazing, because our service levels run in a rate of 99.5678%. So you can say in your mind that means out of 1,000 cases ordered by multiple customers, you're delivering 998 of them perfectly. Means right time, right condition, right cost, absolutely what they ordered. And when you think about doing that over thousands of customers and 8,000 products, and you think of all the hands that touch them and all the things that have to be done correctly so that happens and consistently every single day, it's just phenomenal. You don't realize we're in the business of moving cases of product to customers, but all the things that happen behind the scenes to make that happen correctly is just amazing.
It's a well-oiled machine.
Absolutely it is.
Yes. Now, after 125 years from starting off at a grocery store, working your way to produce, then to wholesale, what would be the future moving forward? Is there a bigger step than where you are now?
Great question, and we will continue to grow. It's almost axiomatic in our industry. If you're not growing, you're decaying, and so you do have to continue to grow. And in the economy that we find ourselves in now, it means you've got to gain market share because the economy overall is not growing.
Right.
And so that means to gain market share, you've got to take it from other competitors. So, one of the things that we would be looking at is acquisitions, and that is certainly something that we will be actively engaged in. And that may continue to expand our footprint. Because, for instance, with independent restaurants, we're pretty much just the eastern half of the state, south central Virginia. So the whole western half of the state, we don't have a lot of independent restaurant customers in. So an acquisition that would add that to us would be appropriate. Another appropriate acquisition, if you look at our customer mix right now, it is more focused on what I would call Southern family dining. It includes barbecue restaurants, fried seafood, and many of the restaurants that we have here. But then there's a whole other group of restaurant customers that we don't really carry the product mix for, and it could be white tablecloth or fine dining. So an acquisition that would help us gain that market would also be appropriate. So those are the types of things.
Covering all the bases, essentially.
Absolutely. The appropriate strategic acquisitions is one way we'll grow. And then again, we're still out adding one customer at a time every single week. So we're literally still growing even in this economy.
I liked it when you said if you're not growing, you're decaying, and that's exactly right. If you just continue doing what you're doing, you're not getting anywhere.
Right. That's correct.
And you could apply that to any really part of life.
That's right. Any business or any life, absolutely.
Absolutely. It's part of our values.
Well, it served you well so far, it looks like.
Absolutely, and we're going to keep on doing that.
Oh, yeah. Here's to another 125 more. And we thank you for coming in this morning.
Thank you. It's been fun.
Thank you very much. 10:25. We'll take a quick break, and we're back with more at News Talk 1150 WGBR.